Hey guys, my name is Becca, and welcome to my BookTubeAthon wrap-up. So, yeah, BookTubeAthon was from July 30th to August 5th, and in those 7 days, I read 7 full-length novels. I think this is my best year so far, only because I'm pretty sure in all of my other TBRs for BookTubeAthon, I've had manga and graphic novels in my TBRs, and I didn't do that this year, so I'm really pleased that I was able to read all 7 books that I had on my TBR. And yeah, I'm really happy, and I think this is my best year so far. I read, in number of pages that I read 2,279. My shortest book was 202 pages, and my longest book was 435 pages, so yeah. The first book that I read was Always Never Yours by Emily Wirbely. This is so hard, I cannot say this name, and Austin Sigmund Broca. I believe they're married and they were high school sweethearts, so that was really nice to see. I'm pretty sure that's what it says in their author bio. I think that's what it is. Hello. Okay, so this follows Megan, our main character, who is trying to get into this college. She really wants to get into this college. She wants to be a director, I'm pretty sure. And she needs an acting credit to get into this college. And the last performance in her high school is Romeo and Juliet. So she decides to audition for the most minimal character, which is Lady Montague. There's only 2 lines. And she auditions and she thinks she's got this in the bag. It's not why wouldn't she be Lady Montague? Who else wants to be Lady Montague? She ends up becoming Juliet. She ends up being casted as Juliet, and she's freaking out. This is not what she wants. Juliet's the star. She doesn't want to be the lead. No, and then one of her ex-boyfriends is Romeo, and she's not, no, this is not going good. She also meets this aspiring playwright who's also in the play, and they strike up this friendship, and it might lead to romance, so I'll just have to read to find out. But I really enjoyed this. I thought this was really cute. I gave this 3.5 stars. It wasn't the best book that I read, but I really did enjoy reading it, and yeah, it was just, there was some really fun moments, and there's some really heartbreaking moments as well. Also, every guy that Megan dates falls madly in love, just not with her. They end up finding the person they're in love with while they're dating her, and so they end up breaking up because of that. That's with every single one of her boyfriends, so it's just really heartbreaking to see that no one wants to fall in love with her, only with others. And she's just come to accept that, and it's just really heartbreaking, but this is really good and I really enjoyed it, and 3.5 stars. This also completed 3 out of the 7 challenges. This completed this won the coin toss, so this is the first book I picked up. This features something that I want to do, which is to act in a play, even though I could never do it ever. Never gonna happen, but I always wanted to do it. It's never gonna happen. And this also has green on the cover, so yeah, 3 out of the 7 challenges done. Next up, I picked up Beauty and the Beast. This is by Gabrielle Suzanne Barbeau de Villeneuve. I think that's how you say that name, not entirely sure. Also, this is illustrated by Minalima. Okay, so this is the original tale of Beauty and the Beast, and this has illustrations and interactive elements. And this, oh great, now I can't close it. This also completed 3 out of the 7 challenges. This is the Beautiful Spine, the book to movie adaptation. I watched the Disney live action movie. Love that movie. 5 out of 5 stars for that. And then this also, I wore my Beauty and the Beast hat, which I don't have with me, and I'm not going to get up and get it, but I wore that while I read this book the entire time. So this is the original tale of Beauty and the Beast, and I am a massive fan of the Disney movies of this, so I figured I would love this book, and that did not happen. I hated this book. I gave this 1 star. This was awful. From start to finish, I was so incredibly bored. And none of the characters have names. They only have titles like Father, Beast, Beauty, King, Queen, Fairy, Sister, Brother. They don't have names. That was annoying to find out. So yeah, I mean, I really love the illustrations within this. The interactive elements was nothing. I didn't even touch it. I just skipped those completely. I didn't even care for the interactive elements. I was just, yeah, this was very, very disappointing, and I give this 1 star, but at least it finished it. With this, I completed 6 out of the, with these 2, 6 challenges done. So I just needed to complete the 1 challenge left, and that was to read 7 books. So I needed to read 5 more books. So I picked up Tessadair by, I picked up The Duchess Deal by Tessadair. There you go. This is all about a seamstress who is making this dress for this noblewoman who's about to marry a duke. The wedding is called off. The dress is made. It's awful, but it's made. That's because the lady wanted that dress to be awful, by the way. Not because of her skills. She would have made the dress to be absolutely beautiful, but the lady had really crap taste. So the seamstress goes to the duke and demands payment for her labor, and he offers her marriage instead. This is really cute. I give this 4 stars. This is my favorite Tessadair so far. I've only read 2 by her, but this is my favorite so far. And I'm excited to pick up the sequel, which comes out later this month. So, yeah. I'm really excited to pick this up. Did I tell you to give this 4 stars? I think I might have. Then I read All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover. This is told in dual timeline. There's then where our 2 main characters, Quinn and Graham, they meet. They end up meeting outside of her fiance's apartment because they're witnessing her fiance and his girlfriend cheating on them. So they end up going their separate ways, and then a year later they end up meeting each other again and striking up a relationship. And then we have now, which is 7 years later, after they've met up again, and they're married and they're having trouble conceiving. They're having fertility issues, and it's really putting a strain on their marriage. And it's just, this is freaking gorgeous, and I loved it. And I believe this might be my favorite Colleen Hoover book so far. I love the relationships. I lived for the then moments. Those were so fun and happy, and I love them so much. But the now moments were just as good. They just were heartbreaking, and it really hurt to read, but 5 stars. I loved it, and this was amazing. Then I picked up This Adventure Ends by Emma Mills. This is my first Emma Mills book, and I was really hesitant to pick this up just because I've heard some not so great things about Emma Mills, about her books. But I have heard this is her best, at least, to some people. And I know Julie over at Pages and Pens loves this book, and I just really wanted to read it. And this is about Sloane, who moves to Florida from New York. I always have trouble with that. And she finds this group of friends who have their own secret codes and everything, and they're just so connected, but they end up bringing her into their friend group, and she ends up being friends with all of them. And it was just, she's a character who doesn't really have friends at all. I guess no one's really wanted to be friends with her, and at least from where she's from, and I can understand that. There are times where I feel like I didn't really have friends, and I settled for friends that weren't friends. They were awful to me, and I settled for them because I didn't want to be alone. So I could understand where Sloane was coming from in this book. Oh, sorry. You guys know I'm always sick. Always sick. But this was beautiful, and I loved it. I love the friendships in this most. There was also a quest to find this painting, which was really fun. And then there is romance in this, of course, and I really did enjoy the romance, but it wasn't my favorite thing. My favorite thing, I think, had to be her relationship with her father and her relationship with the friends. It was like, I love the romance, but it wasn't my favorite thing. The father finding a fandom and writing and reading and writing fan fiction for it. Perfect. 5 stars. Then I picked up Always and Forever Lara Jean. I was going to pick up Truth Witch, but I decided to switch and pick up this instead, because this is also on my Newts TBR, and I needed to read this too, so I figured why not just switch from Truth Witch to this, and I'll read Truth Witch later on. But yeah, this is the 3rd and final book in the To All the Boys I Loved Before series. The first 2 books in the series I gave 5 stars. I absolutely loved them. This I gave 4 stars. It was good. I enjoyed it. I had, it was really quick and easy and fun to read. But I felt all the characters that I loved in the first 2 books were so absolutely annoying in this book, and I couldn't stand them. And then the one character that I felt was annoying in the first 2 books that I really loved in this book. Also, Lara Jean just so annoyed me throughout most of it. I was just like, there are a lot of characters that annoyed me in this book, and there are a lot of moments that I was just like, no, stop, just stop. But I gave this 4 stars overall. I did really enjoy it. But yeah, those characters, they just really annoyed me sometimes. But I'm really glad I read that. And then lastly, I picked up Uprooted by Naomi Novik. I finally finished this the Sunday, the last day of BookTubeAthon. I had like maybe a few hours left, and I needed to finish this book, and I did. This is about this is about this village where this wizard comes to their village every like 10 years. He picks a girl to take back to his tower. You don't know why, you just know like they're gone for 10 years, and then when they come back, they don't really want to stay in the village, they want to leave. So yeah, they believe it's going to be this one girl that is going to be taken, but it ends up being our main character, Agnieszka. I believe that's how you say her name, maybe. Yeah, it's really all it tells you in the back of this book. So I don't know if I should be telling you anything else, because I guess that could be spoiling, but I didn't really enjoy this book. I gave this 2 stars. I was hoping for more romance, and when I finally got to the romance, I had like 80 pages left of this book. That was it. 80 pages left of the book, and now you start romance? Like, what? No. Oh, hell no. I didn't really care for the characters. I didn't care for anything that happened. There was this whole, like, subplot thing with the evil woods. Really? And a royal family that's just awful. I just really didn't care for this book at all. I give this 2 stars. I don't know why I give this 2. Wait, why did I give this 2 stars? Why didn't I give this 1? Oh, I guess like the first little bit of it where our main character is being chosen to go to the tower, and when she gets to the tower and everything, like that little part was kind of good. Like that first quarter was kind of good, but the rest of it was just like, no. 2 stars. So yeah, that's it for me today, guys. That was all the books that I read. I read some really great books, and I also read some really not so good books. But yeah, I mean, I think my favorite book, my 2 favorite books actually, would be All Your Perfects and This Adventure Ends. These are my 2 favorite books of BookTubeAthon. Obviously my least favorite book would be this shit, and then maybe this too, but I mean, I guess I kind of enjoyed this one more than this, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I really enjoyed a lot of the books that I read for BookTubeAthon, and I'm really glad I participated. And I finished all 7 challenges, which is amazing. I didn't participate in any of the video challenges or the Instagram challenges just because, you know, I work full-time too, so I don't have time for that. If I wanted to get the reading done, I couldn't do any of that. But I'm really glad that I participated, and I'm really glad with everything I read. So yeah, that's all for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again in another video. Happy reading.